Hey, it's again YouTube, this is SilverBeanie here, bringing you guys our first ever UBL team building match. The Crystal Palossans are taking on the New Jersey Brobats and Coach REWT in an all-out battle for the ages. It's going to be crazy, I cannot wait. It's very scary. This is new to me. We've done team builders before, but not like this. This is a completely different style team builder. Bear with me. If there's anything that you think we could do to change it around a little bit, let me know. I'm eager to know your thoughts. Let me know down below in the comment section. But if you guys are hyped and excited for the start of the UBL, this is it. It's officially kicking off. First match goes up tomorrow, and I cannot wait. I cannot wait. It's been too long, and this is going to be awesome. Very, very excited. So definitely show your support. Hit the like button. Subscribe if you're new. We're going to have weekly battles and weekly team builders. So let's just dive straight into it. So we have got our team all prepped, and a little bit nervous. You know, it took me a while to prepare this team. It took me a couple of hours. Had to go through several things. I did have someone helping me out, so shout outs to them. But let's just quickly go over our opponent's team. So they have got a very scary team. And one thing to note about this team is it's very bulky. So they have got Mega Venusaur. What? Mega Venusaur is there. It was their first pick, but Mega Venusaur is here. Very, very scary. It's got thick fat. It's got base 80 HP, so nothing crazy there, but it gets supported by its defense. It's got base 123 in defense and base 120 in special defense. Base 80 speed is just not terribly fast, but then it's not terribly slow either. It's quite decent. And then it's got base 100 attack and base 122 special attack. So this thing is a tank. Like, this thing I need to take down. I'm actually like quite scared about this. I don't know how I'm going to deal with it. I've got a strategy, but it's going to be interesting to see how this works. So I got to keep an eye out for this Venusaur. As I say, it's grass poison type, obviously. Typically, obviously, you see them run like Leech Seed, Giga Drain. Obviously, sometimes maybe like things like Knockoff or Earthquake or Power Fire, things like that. So it can really break down a team very, very easily. So we've got to be careful with that. They've also got the Latios. Now, Latios is also their Z-move user. Each team only got one Z-move user. Latios is REWT's Z-move user. I'm expecting a Z-move, but I'm also expecting Choice Scarf. Choice Scarf is very, very common for Latios. It's a very common standard set. Obviously, you run Timid, Dracominio, Psyshock, you know, those kind of sets. So it's very common. I'm expecting that, but then also, as I say, I'm expecting the Z move. We've got a lot of things that like could be a hit by, like, say, ghost type moves. So I'm expecting Shadow Ball. Who knows what could come down? But Latios is here. It's got base 80 HP, base 80 defense with 19 attack, and then base 130 special attack and 110 in speed and special defense. This thing is no joke. Like, this thing I need to take down. If I'm honest, across his entire team, minus maybe the Venusaur, this is his scariest. Like, this is the scariest thing on his team. I need to take this thing down. It needs to go, like, as soon as. So I'm going to be trying to focus and get all the attacks and damage into this thing. So we've got to keep an eye out for that. They've also got the Primarina, obviously Water Fairy. Liquid Voice is not available, unfortunately, so it will obviously be running Torrent. But it's got base 80 HP, and then like base 126 and 116 special defense. Its speed is at 60, so it's very, very slow. So it's gonna be interesting to see what they do. But Choice Specs is typically a common set on these things. Sometimes even leftovers. Choice Scarf if you really want to go there. But obviously Hydro Pump, Moonblast, Psychic. This thing also gets Energy Ball, which is something to sort of keep note of. But we don't really take anything too dangerous from Energy Balls. But for now, we are okay. But it's definitely another one to keep an eye out for. Having that fairy typing though definitely can hinder my team, especially against certain mons. So we've got to keep an eye out for that. I'm really kind of try and outwit my opponent. I'm fairly decent when it comes to like predictions, but I make stupid plays. You know, I don't go with my gut, and that's something I need to try and work with and try and push forward and work on. So we've got to keep an eye out for Primarina. They've also got Jolteon. Now, Jolteon is fast and specially offensive. There's nothing else needed to say about this thing. Base 130 speed and base 110 special attack, base 95 speed, special defense. This thing is a monster. Like, we need to get rid of this thing as soon as possible as well. It does get Volt Switch, Volt Absorb, so we've got to be careful about that. But this thing attacks hard. He's got the Ferrothorn. Ferrothorn is just, what can I do? What can we do against the Ferrothorn? I've made preparations for this thing, but this is very scary. Bulky as heck. Base 131 in special defense and base 116 in it's base 110, sorry. Oh my goodness. Base 131 in defense, base 116 in special defense, 74 in HP. I'll get there eventually. It's slow as heck, so obviously it's guaranteed to be slowest unless he decides to reach Trick Room. I could see Trick Room, to be honest. A lot of his team is fairly slow. So I could see Trick Room, maybe. But this thing is his primary hazard setter. It does get access to stealth rocks and spikes. So we've got to keep an eye out for this thing and try and get rid of it as soon as. He has the Meloetta as well. Now we have had a bit of experience. We have used Meloetta in previous Wi-Fi battles. Meloetta is really good. I love this thing. It hits incredibly hard on the special side. Base 128 in special attack and special defense, and then base 90 in speed. And obviously if he's able to get the pre-REWT form out, wow, well, we're in trouble. We need to be careful with this thing. But obviously typical sets like Carmine, Focus Blast, Side Shot. So we definitely got to keep an eye out for that and try and whit it down as quick as we can. Next major issue is the Greninja. I've got to be careful with this. Greninja gets protein, which is now available. Battle Bond Greninja is banned, so no Ash Greninja, thank goodness. But base 122 in speed, base 103 in special attack, and base 95 in attack. This thing hits very hard, especially if you chuck it with a Expert Bell or Life Orb, which is typically run. This thing could actually wreck through my team. It gets such coverage. It even gets things like Toxic Spikes or Gunk Shot. You know, it gets such random moves that could, with the effect of protein, it becomes stab, and it's very, very scary. So Greninja would be another big hit. He's also got the Delphox, so rocking two color starters. The Delphoxes could be an issue. It's only got base 114 special attack, 100 in special attack, special defense, sorry, and 104 in speed. Nothing crazy, but Calm Mind is a thing, and if this thing sets up a Calm Mind, it's gonna more than likely wreck through my team. So we've really got to try and not allow it to get its Calm Mind set up like at all. Serena is his only rapid spin user. Latios is his only defog user. There is only two like hazard remover. So hazards are crucial. So it's having this thing, and if we can try and get rid of the Serena early game, then well, more than likely hazards are going to stay around, which will be sweet. But obviously this thing does get a unique ability called Queenly Majesty, which basically prevents me from using any priority moves. I don't think I have any actually on this particular set. I might have one, but I don't think I do. So it's just something to keep an eye out for, but it's not. We don't need to worry about this round. He's got Tauros. Now Tauros is pretty fast, but base 110 speed and base 100 attack, 95 in defense. It hits hard. I really don't see him bringing this at all. I don't see it benefiting me at all, other than maybe for the fact that I've got a Chandelure, so he can't get hit by a ghost type move. I'm not overly worried about Tauros, really. And then it's got the Piloswine. Now, Piloswine could come, rock an Eviolite, Earthquake. It does get things like Ice Shard, 100 HP and 100 in attack. It's not the fastest of things, but again, if he decides to run Trick Room, it becomes fast and bulky. This thing could be a problem. It does get, obviously, things like Stealth Rocks, so it's definitely just something to keep an eye out for. Now, moving on to my team. We have got Chandelure Lumiere making its debut, rocking the Choice Scarf. Now, I really wanted to get something that can easily outspeed near enough everything. The only thing that will outspeed me is if he runs Choice Scarf Latios, Greninja, or the Jolteon. Everything else I outspeed, regardless. I outspeed it. We've got Flamethrower, Shadow Ball, Dark Pulse, and Energy Ball. Flamethrower is obviously mainly for that Ferrothorn. If I can get a Flamethrower off, that Ferrothorn is dead. It's gone. Shadow Ball is really there to cover things like the Latios, so we can try and hopefully take that down. Dark Pulse as well, if we need like things like the Meloetta. Energy Ball for the likes of the Primarina, but then we cover everything. So Lumiere is really crucial. It's got max attack, max special attack, sorry, max speed. Literally just all out, hard hitting, just dish out the dirt. That's literally what Lumiere is here to do. So, not really going to be a lead, more can hopefully be maybe a late game sweeper. Flash Fire as well, so any kind of fire type moves from that Delphox, it ain't touching me. It ain't touching me. So, that's going to be really helpful. Now, moving on to what most likely will be my lead. and that is Gasteric. Gasteric is our Galvantula. Focus point around my team though, I've really noticed, I didn't really realize until towards the end, my team's very slow. I did mention this kind of in my draft breakdown last week. My team's very slow. There's not a lot of high hitting speeds. Like, I think Galvantula is, I think, my fastest mon. The sticky webs are crucial. I have to run sticky webs pretty much every week. But I've got to be careful. Now, we are running Hidden Power Fire. Hidden Power Fire actually two-shots a Ferrothorn. So if he leads with his Ferrothorn, we lead with Galvantula. If he decides to stay in and go for, obviously, things like Stealth Rocks and things like that, we can just Hidden Power Fire and it guarantees it's a 2-hit KO after leftovers. So we can potentially seriously do some damage on that thing. We've got Bug Buzz and Thunder. Thunder, obviously, because we've got Compound Hours, it increases our accuracy. So Thunder has like a 96 or 97% accuracy, which is crazy. We've got the Focus Dash, so we guarantee live at least one hit. But Gasteric is really going to be crucial. We have to get those webs up as soon as. But if he leads with that Ferrothorn, I cannot not take the opportunity and try and take it down. So we have to just Hidden Power Fire. So we've got to, there's going to be a lot of risky plays and a lot of like, we just got to do it. Like, we have to bite the bullet and we literally just have to go for it. If it fails, it fails. But hopefully, if it pulls off, it could be absolutely amazing. We also got Scaleo. Now, Scaleo is also our Z move user. I was really debating on running a Z move, but I just don't think against his team. I mean, you can always run a Z move, but I just don't think it helps too much in his particular team. With things like the Ferrothorn, my idea was to run, because I'm rocking like Poison Jab, so my idea was maybe to run the Poison EMZ. But if he was to switch into the Ferrothorn or even the Venusaur, then that's a wasted turn. So I decided against it, and we're going to go Lumberry. So Lumberry is really there for things like if he wants to Toxic Stormy. We do have, we're not bringing it this week, but we do have Tapu Fini, who actually is like sets up the Misty Terrain, which makes any kind of status moves ignored. Like, they cannot be used. So he may not bring that many, but I want to be prepared. So we got the Lumberry just in case. We've also got Dragon Claw, Drain Punch, and Dragon Dance. If we can set up a Dragon Dance, like maybe at least one, hopefully two, we could sweep his entire team. The only problem that we will have is the Ferrothorn. Ferrothorn is going to be the biggest problem against my entire team, I think. Plus maybe any kind of priority. But obviously if Scaleo does get hindered down a little bit, then we could get in a bit of trouble. But that's why we got Drain Punch. Hopefully we can get some health back and we'll be sitting nice and pretty. Got Bulletproof, so, you know, any kind of, you know, if the Melee Weather wants to come, it can't Hyper Voice. That's the other one, that's Soundproof. It's the ball type moves, so things like Shadow Ball, Sludge Bomb, things like that. So if the Latios can't hit me with a Shadow Ball, so we've got some options with Bulletproof. Also making its debut is Scorpio. I love this thing. Scorpio is one of my favorite Pokemon. We've used it again in Wi-Fi battles a few weeks ago. Absolutely amazing mon. We're rocking the Poison Hill with Toxic Orb, obviously. Earthquake, Knockoff, U-Turn, and Protect. This is an alternative lead. If for whatever reason I don't see the Ferrothorn, the Ferrothorn's not coming. Like, it's coming. I'm expecting the Venusaur, Latios, Primarina, Ferrothorn, more than likely the Greninja, and potentially either Jolteon, Delphox, and the Serena. Like, I don't see Meloite to come in really, and I don't see Tauros or Palossand come in. Everything else is kind of a hit and miss, but it's going to be scary. I've got to be prepared. We've got max HP, so we just got the odd one. So if there are rocks out in the field, guaranteed to be above the 50%. And then we're running max speed, and then just the odd little investment here and there, just to help us out a little bit. But if we can get some Earthquakes and Knockoffs off and start hitting down his team, we're going to be sitting pretty. We've got Seratine as well, who's rocking that Eviolite, our beautiful Golbat Infiltrator, so we can actually like inflict through damage through the like light screens and safeguards, things like that, and substitutes. So we completely ignore those kind of hits, which is awesome. If we can hopefully get that, have those set up, then we're going to be sitting pretty. We've got things like Brave Bird, just so we have something stab and we can hit hard. Brave Bird, I believe, is a 3-hit KO on a Mega Venusaur, which, in all fairness, is actually quite a lot considering he can't do much to me. We can roost up. We are running max HP, but we can just roost back up and we're going to be sitting absolutely pretty. We resist things like Shadow Ball and stuff, so we have got that going for us. We've got the defog as well, so if we do need to get rid of hazards, we've got defog. We've got U-turn as well, just for initiative. We need to get the heckles out of there. And then last but not least, this is going to be, honestly, I think the team savior. We are bringing Lunara, our Cresselia, rocking that Rocky helmet with Sideshock, Ice Beam, Moonlight, and Carmine. If I can get at least one Carmine up, we pretty much sweep. Like, again, without the Carmine, we two-shot the Venusaur. With the Carmine, it's like a roll. It's about 80% chance we one-shot it with a Sideshock. The only problem the only thing that could give us an issue, really, is the Latios with the Lunara. That's why we're running like Ice Beam, just so we can at least two-shot it. But if we can get at least one Carmine up, we're sitting pretty. You know, knocking on wood, barring a crit, we're sitting pretty, and Lunara is gonna absolute pull in the work and sweep. I honestly, I'm very nervous. You know, this is the first kind of match that's kind of really going to affect everything else. You know, we've got to play well, and I've got to do my absolute best. Again, that's all I can do. I can only do my best. You know, RNG and the hacks gods, they're a thing. So, you know, it's Pokemon, but we've got to do our best. And I'm really feeling confident with this team. I think we've covered all our weaknesses. We've got our ground types. We've got levitators. We've got flyers. You know, we've got hazards. We've got speeders, and we've got bulk. Like, we've covered everything. It's just literally down to what my opponent decides to bring. And as I said, I'm really seeing that Venusaur, the Latios, the Primarina, more than likely the Serena, just so he can easily get rid of hazards. Greninja I see coming, but everything else is kind of a smash. I really don't see much else, but I really see the Venusaur, the Latios, and the Primarina. Those three, guarantee. 100% they're coming. I really feel confident with that. But that's it, gonna be it for me, guys, from this team builder. I hope you guys, you know, enjoyed. If you have any kind of comments and thoughts about anything that I could have done differently, let me know down below. Definitely let me know if you think we're gonna come out with a W. Fingers are being crossed. And we're gonna get all connected up here. I've got my match in a little bit. Hopefully we will come out with a W. Fingers are being crossed. Show your support. Definitely hit that like button if you guys enjoyed. But with that, guys, I'm gonna get out of here. I will catch you guys next week. We will have another team builder. Until then, I'm SilverBeanie, and I'll catch you next time.